Yeah. Can I give another really super quick an analogy to the
Yes.
rule the Okay, sweet. I just had this on my mind. I got to share it. So maybe you can like cut this out and put it as its
Yeah,
own little YouTube
I'll
video. Let me know if you do. So an analogy to what periodization is to training is like what the structure of building a large object is to engineering. If you're building a skyscraper, you first design, you first build the base, right? You actually dig into the ground, and then you build the whole basement and all the supports, and then you build the floors, and then you put the spire on the top, right? It's a three-phase model. It works really well, and people would say, well, that's how you build big objects. Totally. In bridges, let's say if you build a big bridge, you build the bases, the pillars, right? And then you erect the bridge, and then you put all the fancy stuff on top. Same thing. But if you're building like a space shuttle, okay, you don't build anything into the fucking ground because a space shuttle isn't built into the ground. But what do? You build a framework around what is going to be the shuttle. Then you start erecting its big components, and then you fill in the little stuff after that. The idea of periodization is much like the idea that some kind of framework and base has to be built, but that'll look very different depending on what you're building. Then the meat and potatoes are filled in, and then you work on the details specific to exactly what it is that you already want. That's periodization. The exact structure of how that looks is really different based on if you're building a skyscraper or a ship or a space shuttle. You build a ship in a like a ditch, and then you fill it with water later. I sure as hell hope you're not doing that with skyscrapers. Like, all right, fill it with water. People, what the fuck is wrong with you, right? So we can't say periodization is never a copy of a training plan for a different outcome. It has to be something that understands the logic. We're building a framework first, then filling in the big stuff, then putting in like the sprinkles on top. That's the real essence of periodization. If you can understand that, you won't be filling space shuttles up with water, and you won't be practicing hypertrophy mesocycle design by increasing intensity like crazy and forgetting to increase volume.
I'm so glad that you pulled me up to add that in, Mike, because I really, really like that analogy, and I think a lot of people will understand that and hopefully won't put water in space shuttles. So, Mike,
For sure.